All right, guys, thank you for joining me again tonight. Appreciate it. Uh, so, guys, clearly we all know that this is just going to get horrendous. There is a lot of information being dumped out there. So, trying to sift through it and make sure it's correct, trying to sift through it and make sure that it's. Listen, we're going to hear a lot of things, and a lot of things people are going to jump on top of will probably not be true, and some of it will be true, but no one will believe it, kind of deal. That makes sense. All right, thank you for the 5x5s. Let's get that out of the way. Jacob, Ozark Prepper, Darcy, Cat Lady. Sorry, get prepared. Thank you for the 5x5. Johnny, Groundhog, Phone Grown, Loretta, Amanda, Jeep Girl, Lisa, thank you for the 5x5. Jam and Jake, thank you for the 69 by 181. Kathy, Ladybug, Steel City, Blackfoot, Beef, Finley the Dog, Jim, Devil Dog Prepper, thank you for joining us, by the way, and thank you for the 5x5. Trey, Mr. Landfill, Dobie, Rhonda, thank you for the 5x5. Smalden, Patty, Let's Talk Prepping. Linda, thank you for joining us. Spotted Fawn, Buy the Book, thank you for the 5x5. Trucker, thank you for the 5x spam. Amnesty, Adriana, Jordan, Jessica, Dan, Lexi, thank you for the 5x5. Odd One, thank you for the 5x cheesy pancakes. Prep Me, thank you for the 5x556. Retired Army Ranger, thank you for the 5x5. Jaleesa, Bob, Kim, Cat Girl, thank you for the 5x5. Great Lake, thank you for the 5x9. Great Lake. No, sorry. Dan Phillips, thank you for the AP by RNN. Nice one. Buddha Dude, thank you for the 17x76. Kevin Grip, thank you for the 2x4. The All Seeing Cat. Aunt Esther, William, Russell, Son, Daddy. Wait, Daddy Blunt? Thank you for the 5x5. DJ, thank you for the 5x5. Peaceful Prepper. CNN, Troy, Scorpio, thank you for the 5x5. Kristen, Michelle, Live Free or Die, thank you for 25. Everybody else, thank you for the 5x5. Phoenix, Cindy, Oshnet Prepper, I can't pronounce that. Fry, Smokin', Water Tiger, Scorpio, PJ, thank you for the 5x5. Michael, Renee, Kathleen, Jan, Jeff, thank you for the 308 by 308. Everybody else, thank you for the 5x5. East Texas, Russell, Craigslist, really? Thank you for 5x5. Ra, Paul, Julie, Dina, Deanna, both Deannas, Deanna Walters and Deanna B. Thank you for the 5x5. Recycler, VA Recycler, thank you for the 5x5. Josan, thank you for the 5x6. Jet, thank you for the 5x5. And if I missed anybody, whatever. Thank you for the 5x5, everyone. Old Mastro and Running with Scissors. Thank you for the 5x5. I actually like that one. Gavin Wild, 5x5 means loud and clear. If that makes sense. And nice picture, Alexandra. Appreciate that. Anyway. So, like I was saying, guys, before I got distracted, there's a lot of shit that we're going to be seeing. We're going to be seeing a lot of things too that are going to be directly related to this or somewhat related to this, and I'm going to get to a lot of that in a little bit. But there's a lot of shit that's going on that not that we're missing. It's just that there's so much going on right now. It's insane. And there's no way to avoid missing it. We're going to miss a lot. I'm going to miss a lot. I know, what's his name? Prepper Now, the Crisis Report, his channel's the Crisis Report. He's pretty on top of it. He's been doing this shit for years. He's a research and data kind of guy. That's his forte. He's given me some tips over the years. So I'm applying that now as to how to gather data because there's a lot out there. There are articles, there are, Telegram that you can go on, and there's a lot of information on Telegram as well. Some websites you got to be careful of, guys, because a lot of the websites are one-sided, whether they are for Palestinians or Israel. They're most certainly one-sided. So you have to definitely be careful about who you listen to and who you believe, like anything else, because again, there's a ton of shit going here. So let me start out by saying I saw something earlier, way earlier this morning, rather. Again, of course, I don't have my fucking phone, so let's see if I can find it on here. All right, so I'm going to get this out of the way right now. Ryan, thank you for the donation. I appreciate it. And I'm going to try my best not to pay attention to the chat. So if I miss a lot of shit in the chat, so be it. So, Sarah Snyder, she writes for CNN, or maybe she's a reporter for CNN. But anyway, she goes, yesterday the Israeli Prime Minister's office said that it had confirmed the Hamas kids missing their heads. The Israeli government now says it cannot confirm any of those kids were beheaded. She says, I need to be more careful with my words. I'm sorry. So that's a retraction. Again, that went with the report October 11 that toddlers were found missing their heads. So we have to be careful about a lot of information. That's even, I hate to say it, seasoned reporters, they're even blurting shit out that they're seeing online. So they have to be super careful about how they're seeing and what they're seeing. What they're saying, rather, sorry. Let me try to catch up. So, yeah, guys, a lot of it has been unfounded. And people are... This is starting to piss me off. All right. And people are just going to blurt out whatever feels good or however it affects somebody else. And when I was standing there yesterday with the whole protest, I remember standing there and thinking to myself, these people, like I said online yesterday, on the live stream yesterday, I said these people are yelling about the same crap, the same garbage. They're saying the same exact shit, and because they're yelling, they can't hear it. Not to mention they were also across the street from one another, and there were cars and shit in the way. But nonetheless, guys, these people they're speaking the same language. The language of hate, misinformation, and I would say self-pity. Because both sides are playing the woe is me card. Oh, us Palestinians, we are trapped in Palestine. No, you're not. We have to free Palestine. They're already freed. Why can't anybody give us our independence? You don't have your independence because you're going to constantly have groups like ISIS, Taliban, Hamas, to name a few. There's other groups out there actually too that are going to take over your country and or city by force. That's not freedom fighters. That's just a terrorist group terrorizing your people. Whatever. Anyway, guys, let's start from the top and work our way down. But I wanted to get that bit of misinformation about the kids and the whole, without their heads bullshit. Because even when that report came over, I believed it at first, but I was like, hold on. There will be pictures online. And when, like I said, a couple of people I knew, buddies of mine that were looking for it, couldn't find it, I knew they didn't exist. I got people that go to deep, dark places on the internet to look for this shit, and they couldn't find it. So, yeah, that is what it is. All right, guys. So, after the France stabbing, which happened yesterday, by the way, which was probably... There were two incidences that happened yesterday for the whole global, Muslim takeover that really never went anywhere. There was a teacher in France that was stabbed to death, if I'm not mistaken, in front of their students. With that, the French government raised their alert level after that school stabbing. France right now is at the highest security level in their country. I wouldn't say their country's history, but in the country right now. France is also deploying 7,000 soldiers after declaring a maximum level alert following the fatal stabbing of a teacher. And I think 3 people were injured in that process trying to stop the guy. right? So the guy apparently yelled, Allah Akbar, and their fucking traditional war cry, and he went to work on that teacher. People jumped in and stopped him, but not before he killed the teacher. So here's my issue with the 7,000 troops being released, if you will, on the streets. They are now, that's almost, I guess, like their version of martial law. I mean, they're not stopping anybody from traveling. I haven't read that anyway. But that's the first step. And guys, some of you said it. I've been thinking it. I'm hoping it doesn't come true. But the false flags of things happening around the world for here around the country, and then them deploying National Guardsmen to steadily take our freedoms away, if that makes sense. Prep to adapt. Thank you for the donation. I appreciate it. Sorry I missed that. Again, I'm trying not to pay attention to the chat. I heard that the chat was like the Wild West yesterday. So, and I missed all of that because I can't see it on. And not that I can't see it on the phone. It just goes by too quick. And maybe I should have fixed that problem, but I didn't. Anyway, so again, I don't know why I'm reading this bullshit. Sorry. So Russian diplomats, guys, are hoping to meet with Hamas next week for a talk to free hostages. Now, I don't know if that's all hostages or just Russian hostages. Nonetheless, Russia's meeting with Hamas on the matter. Now, I know that the Israeli special forces are in Gaza looking and freeing hostages. And I heard that they have boots on the ground and they are currently in Gaza right now fucking shit up. But the one thing about Gaza special forces, or just the military in general, going into Gaza and getting any hostages, they're going to free all the hostages, right? So I don't know if Russia's going to do this as a selfish act just to get their people out, or they're going to try to negotiate for all people. I don't know how the Russian diplomats think. So Gaza's death toll right now, guys, is at 2,200. And now I got a video coming out tomorrow about this very subject, about the number of kids they keep mentioning. I remember in any war, they just told you how many people died, and that was everybody, men, women, and kids. Now they break it up and they put the kids in there, the number of kids that passed away, to play on the sympathy strings. Suffice it to say, my sympathy strings are pretty fucking tough and tight, and so when they report this, I know what they're doing. So anyway, 724 kids in Gaza right now are no longer here. They used to just tell you 2,200 people are dead. People or casualties. But now they are currently breaking it up so that people's sympathy strings are being tugged on when you talk about how many kids are dead. And that's a lot of fucking kids. I have to say, that's a lot of kids. But that's what war is, guys. War is brutal. War, people are going to not make it. This is why I don't know how Israel got the blame for Hamas setting it off. It wasn't like the Palestinian government set it off and was like, you know what, we're tired of your shit, and then went to war. It was Hamas, a terrorist organization. Again, that terrorizes their own people as well as the Israeli people. They set it off. And yet somehow Israel and the United States is getting the blame for a terrorist organization kicking it off just for the purpose of being assholes. That's what a lot of people don't get. But again, at the protest, and somebody made this point in my comment section on one of my video, on my live stream from yesterday. They made a very good point. A lot of Jews, guys, from around the world are heading back to Israel to fight. Not every last one of them, because not every one of them can be heroes. Only those who are like, you know what? Fuck this. We're going to strap our boots on, go back to our country, and start blowing shit up. I commend that, and that's awesome. But Palestinians who are all here or all in London, you guys should have seen that London protest. That London protest was out of fucking control. I've never seen anything like it. I mean, it was like every Middle Eastern in London was there supporting Palestine, because they couldn't all have been Palestinians. That's like virtually impossible. Anyway, someone made a good point, and the point was, a lot of these kids are going to be chirping and talking that shit, but they're not going to fucking go back to Palestine and help. They're not going to go back to Palestine, join Hamas, and help. They're going to continue to talk the shit they're talking from a distance. And obviously, mob mentality. They could surround Jewish people or anybody that they deem their enemy. They're going to attack in a mob. But they wouldn't fucking, for the life of them, strap boots on, put an AK in their hand, and march right into Israel. Or just work with Hamas. They're never going to do that. So I find that to be interesting. That these guys who are screaming and yelling about free Palestine, they're not doing anything to free Palestine other than holding signs up. Again, useless signs, useless flag waving, useless bandana bullshit that they had around their heads. All of that is useless. They don't have the balls to fight. But they want to sit there and beat up on the old Jews. Because those people across the street, they were like fucking anywhere between 50 to like 7,000 years old. Anyway, Saudi Arabia, guys, pauses talk on normalization with Israel. That was a peace talk that they currently had going on that I heard drips and drabs about over the last few months. Saudi Arabia has now put it on hold. Saudi Arabia is getting pretty chirpy as well. I'm going to get into that in a little bit. Saudi Arabia puts the U.S.-backed plan to normalize ties with Israel on ice, and they said indefinitely, and engages with Iran. So Saudi Arabia now is talking with Iran. Iran wants to engage with Israel. So again, guys, not looking good. Crux, I am not a veteran, like not at all. Ryan, thank you for the donation. Appreciate it. All right. Where the fuck did we leave off? All right. Russia is proposing a draft. Proposed a draft UN Security Council resolution on the Israel-Hamas war that would call for humanitarian ceasefire and condemn violence against civilians and acts of terrorism. Now, here's the problem with that statement from Russia. Russia considers everything that's being done to Palestine right now an act of war or inhumane. Now, again, the argument there is that the people of Palestine didn't do this. The people of Hamas did, or the terrorist organization Hamas did. So Russia is breaking it up, if you will, and they know the difference. And I think that's why a lot of people are pissed at Israel, because Israel's taking it out on the citizens of Palestine, which I have to agree. You shouldn't be bombing the citizens. You should have, instead of bombing them, when boots on ground and put your troops in to separate Hamas from the people. Drag them back over to Israel. And then if you want to fucking do some crazy shit to them, you do it. Again, rubber tire, gasoline in a match. You know, I don't know, a long rope off a cliff. Tied down naked. And gasoline on them. Acid drip. You name it. Whatever the fuck you want to do, that's what could have been done. But instead, they attacked the entire city or area of Gaza, and this is why they're running into so much pushback with everybody else. Because if they had friends, guys, they are losing them. They were ready to make a resolution with Saudi Arabia. That's gone, and I don't think that's ever coming back. Egypt is being put in a corner right now. Lebanon is being pressured. Iran wants to get their dick wet. Syria wants to get their fucking knuckles bloody. Hamas, Hezbollah, ISIS wants to jump in the mix. Taliban, they're probably going to stay put where they are. But nonetheless, guys, Israel is losing a lot of support over this. And whatever support they had or were about to get, it's probably all but gone. And then they have other countries that are backing them 100%, like the United States. So, Jeff, thank you for the $5. Sorry, the donations. I don't know why I said that. Thank you for the donation. Appreciate it. Listen, guys, if you're gonna donate, and you don't have it, or you don't want to donate, you can watch the commercials. But like I said the other day, I don't like the commercials. I was looking at I was looking at my commercials for my videos. I was pissed. I was annoyed. I was like, what the fuck is this? But also, guys, shit's going to get a lot tougher financially. So, like, I get it. If you have it, you want to donate, fine. But do not feel like you have to. Please don't. The shit's going to get tough. Shit's going to get a lot tougher financially and just for everybody else. It's going to get a lot tougher for everybody else. So save your dollars and buy fucking canned goods or Spam if you eat that shit. You fucking savages if you're eating Spam. But yeah, save the monies, guys. I have the feeling like financially the other shoe's going to fucking drop. And then people are going to be in a world of shit. Benjamin Netanyahu, about a couple of hours ago, said this is just the beginning. We will eliminate Hamas. The one thing about Netanyahu, when he makes these asinine statements, I don't know or understand why he makes these, we're going to eliminate them all. What is he, fucking 5? How do you think you're going to eliminate them all? They're fucking everywhere, man. They're like, they're all over the place. And he's like, we're gonna make sure we get every last one of them. No, you're not. No, you're not. You know, there's no fucking way. I just don't understand. You're just not. Old hippie. Yeah, man, there was a part of me that wanted to see some shit go down. There was another part of me that didn't want to see shit go down because the Jews were outnumbered. Now, what I wanted to see was like an old style, like from my mother's days, from back in the days and shit, when people used to stand in the street and have a dance off with knives and shit, like the West Side Story. That's what I wanted to see, but that wasn't going to happen. That wasn't going to happen at all. By the way, guys, I didn't go to the consulate because I was like, fuck that noise. What happens when I don't go to the consulate? Those morons, the young kids, started acting like fools, and a couple of them got arrested. And I was like, nah. And they didn't look like there was opposition there, by the way. You know, so yeah. Yeah, I was looking for some shit to go down, but it wasn't gonna happen. I don't want to see anyone get murdered. I don't think anybody was going to get murdered. I don't think anybody was going to get that bad. I think it was just going to be fist fighting. But yeah, I was hoping for a 2023 rendition of the West Side Story. People dancing in the street, cursing each other out, hitting each other with fucking signs, because that's all that was going to happen. You know, a good old fucking Donnybrook, man. That's what I wanted to see. But again, once I saw the Jewish side, I was just like, nah. It would be an ass whipping. Because a lot of those kids were young. You ought to go live stream in Israel, Gaza. If I could, I'm pretty sure I could fly there. That wouldn't be a bad idea. That wouldn't be a bad idea at all. Someone's like, you're going to fucking where? I'm like, yo, I'm going to fucking go report this shit. Why not? Wouldn't be a bad idea. All right. Where did we leave off? Okay. So this was earlier today. I didn't do any deep diving in it. I should have, but I didn't. So this is my fault. But a paraclassified CIA intelligence report issued in the days ahead of a major Hamas attack on Israel warned about a potential escalation in violence, but did not predict the complexity or prolonged attack that Hamas launched against Israel. Now, all of a sudden, guys, the CIA had intel. Again, my video tomorrow on the Angryprepper, I talk about I don't buy this shit. Now all of a sudden the CIA says, oh, well, by the way, we looked under our paperwork and here we saw this. We saw this attack hack. Get the fuck out of here. That is a highly volatile area. Everybody and their grandmothers, they're fucking YouTubers who watch the Middle East, who are watching Israel. They're watching this shit so close. Even they're watching this shit closely. And you mean to tell me the CIA dropped the ball again? I'm not buying it, guys. I'm not buying any of this fucking this lying bullshit that they're like, oh, we had intel, but we just didn't release it. What the fuck, man? What in the actual fuck? Breaking 2 Electric Boogaloo. Yeah, I saw that about a year ago, I'm watching Breaking 2, and I'm like, yo, this is a bad fucking movie. Everybody was happy in the end, and they like their rival gang was like, and then they started breakdancing and shit. I was like, this is fucking bad. They just like Breaking 1, the original was awesome. Even to this day, it was a good movie. Part 2 was bullshit. Especially again when the bad gang comes up and they all start fuck out of here with that movie. Sorry for fucking sidetracking. That was a horrible fucking sequel. But I still watch it every time it comes on. All right, so the EU, guys, is now warning YouTube about disinformation being shown on YouTube. So the EU warns Google over YouTube's disinformation in the wake of the Hamas attack. Now I don't know what disinformation they're talking about, but again, guys, here it goes. You got the EU. You're probably going to have the United States give Google or YouTube, sorry, a heads up on what information is being said. So now, guys, they're effectively going after every fucking thing we talk about. Everything we talk about. I just. And again, this is in the EU, so it doesn't affect us, but it does because it then trickles down to us, or trickles over to us, rather. Sorry. It'll trickle over to us because they're like, oh, we don't like that information out there. Then what? So now you're telling YouTube to just get rid of it? They're getting rid of pro-Hamas groups. So they're not Hamas itself. They're just people that support Hamas and support Palestine. They're getting rid of them off of the social media platforms. I wholeheartedly disagree with that. Especially here in this country, it's called free speech. You start getting rid of them because you don't like it. You know, I mean, they've already been doing it to us, but now they're doing it to the other side. They're trying to control everybody and what they fucking say. Crush Groove is still a good movie, by the way. I know someone just brought that up. That's still a good movie. So they're trying to control everything we say and think now. Oh, you know, again, like those kids that are pro-Palestine, I said, listen, say what you want. There are always repercussions. Like I told you guys before, if I was the dean of that school, I wouldn't have got rid of those kids. I would not have got rid of them. I wouldn't have gotten them in trouble because life was going to smack them in the face once they got out in the world. It is not our responsibility, guys, to sit there. We can dislike what they say, but to then call it anti-Semitic, it's not anti-Semitic because there's nothing that they're saying is anti-Semitic other than they're saying I support Palestine, right? If they said I support Hamas, that's anti-Semitic. But a lot of people are using the anti-Semitic excuse now for everything, and the anti-Semitic word is being overused like everything else, like racism, like sexism. All of these words are being over fucking used. They're being over fucking. They're just being overused. Enough. When somebody, in fact, say something anti-Semitic, then you call it out or you knock them in the teeth. You choose. But to sit there and say, well, they want to support the Palestinian people, they're anti-Semitic. That's not how it works. And you can't overuse a word like that. But we are, because that's what we do in this fucking country. We overuse every fucking word. Everybody, do me a favor. If you do not mind, it's that time of the fucking hour. Hit the thumbs up or the thumbs down. Whatever floats your boat. It helps with the algorithm, helps with the channel. Whenever you visit any YouTuber's channel, please hit the like button. I don't care who the fuck it is you visit, just hit the like button. Helps out with their channel. And I guess YouTube goes, oh, wow, look at those guys. They're getting a lot of thumbs up. Oh, the fuck it works. Anyway, guys, where are we right now? Oh, ground invasion. So I did this earlier. So ground invasion into Gaza by Israel is imminent. I heard that they're already in Gaza right now. I know the United States was giving them, I guess, was giving them a heads up to delay it for a day or two, but I'm hearing that they're in there now. So whatever. Let's see. Israel military says that they are currently conducting drone strikes against Hezbollah's targets in Lebanon. Again, putting Lebanon in a tight fucking spot. I thought I read before I went on here, the Lebanese military is looking to mobilize now. I don't know against who, whether it's Hezbollah, which I don't think, or Israel. I read that on one of those Telegram, what you call it. So Israel to enforce complete internet blackout in Gaza starting tomorrow, which is actually today. Sorry. So they're starting a whole complete internet blackout to make sure that nothing gets out, I guess. Listen, Israel wants their hostages back, and all the hostages back, not just theirs, all of them. So they're doing the hostage protocol: shut off communication, shut off power, shut off food, let them sweat, and then have them return the hostages. Do I feel that if any hostages are still alive, they're going to be psychologically fucked behind this? That's all I can say. Israel to enforce, Qatar committed to Iran's fund deal and U.S. prisoner exchange. Prime Minister says Iran says U.S. cannot renege on the deal to transfer $6 billion. So Iran was going to get that money, and they stopped it before they did. Iran said the United States cannot renege on an agreement to transfer $6 billion in frozen funds through mediator Qatar following the Hamas bloody assault. Now, again, I read somewhere that Qatar agrees with the United States holding on to that money. Again, guys, I'm reading so much shit, it's insane. The CIA is definitely, everybody's pleased with the divide that's going on, by the way. This is all division purposes. All right, Tehran, which financially and militarily backs Hamas, has come under intense scrutiny since fighters of the Islamic group stormed across Israel's southern borders over the last weekend, shooting people in their homes and yada yada yada. 1,300 people are dead. Yeah, we get it. A Hamas leader. Now listen to this shit. A Hamas leader, not sure which one, states they did not plan to kill civilians. This happened due to mistake in the conduct of the battle. Let me repeat that. This came from a Hamas leader. Hamas did not plan to kill civilians. This happened due to mistakes in the conduct of battle. What the actual fuck? I had to read that 8 times because I couldn't believe what I was reading. I was like, wait, are they saying they made a mistake? Are they saying that their people, troops, if you will, made a mistake in killing civilians and bombing kids? I had to read that shit. I was like, what the fuck did I just read that? I'm like, am I going fucking crazy? Apparently not. This is fucking, I can't believe that a leader said that. It was almost as if they're like, shit, the walls is closing in around us, guys. We're going to have to make the shittiest world statement we possibly can. Never heard anything like that. Never thought I'd hear anything like that. Nonetheless, I did, or I read it rather. Putin says Israel risks waging an unacceptable siege in Gaza comparable to the Nazi blockade of Leningrad during World War II. Now, again, Putin talking shit out of his ass is amazing to me. This is the same asshole that sparked it off in Ukraine and killed a lot of fucking people in Ukraine. But now all of a sudden he's like, so what I get out of Putin saying anything, because he's being a hypocrite at this point, and people are going to split hairs. Well, he was trying to stop, the world leaders in the Ukraine from taking over the world. Whatever bullshit you're going to throw at it. He's being a hypocrite, period. He shouldn't say a fucking word. He should sit down, shut up, eat his toast and fucking soup, and call it a day. By the way, I did read an article about 2-3 days ago stating that he's dying and they're looking for a successor to replace him. I read that one article. I looked all over the place for another article repeating that. I couldn't find anything. So it could have been bullshit, but he does look sick. He does look like shit. So there could be some truth to Putin dying before the end of this year. Not that that's going to stop anything. A lot of people seem to think if Putin dies, the Ukraine war is going to stop. That the Russian troops are going to be like, Putin's dead? All right, guys, let's pull back. Get your weapons, your tanks. We got to go back. Putin's dead. That doesn't happen. Putin dies, just somebody else is going to take his place. That's all it is. Jordan King warns against displacing Palestinians in neighboring countries. So apparently, I know Israel closed off their border to the Palestinians. There are other countries that will not take them. We have politicians here, fucking here in the United States, that wants to have Palestinians fly over here and be housed here. So not only do they want to leave the border open, now they want to leave the sky zone open so that we could just keep ushering in more people. Now, I'm going to tell you something that's going to sound super fucking racist. I don't give a fuck. Jankman, thank you for the donation, man. I appreciate it. The Muslim people, there's a group of Muslim people that are here to live in the country, guys, and just do that. Live in the country and be left alone. But there's another group of Muslims that want America to be taken over by Muslim values. It's why they're always pushing their bullshit in every neighborhood they move in. Sort of like the Jews. So anyway, there was a guy 2-3 days ago at Times Square talking about how they are not going to stop until the Muslim religion is in every country. I'm paraphrasing. I've heard that same rhetoric before when I used to go or visit or hang out with the Nation of Islam that was under Farrakhan when I was fucking in my early 20s. Muslims and Christians, especially Muslims, they want to dominate the world with their religion. We're seeing it now in India because India has like this civil war that no one's talking about. They are, or maybe it's not a civil war. It's what you call it, when you extinguish people because of religious beliefs. But they're doing that over there right now. They are killing Christians and at the very least beating them up and burning churches down left and right. Not genocide. I forgot what the hell it was called. It happened in fucking Chechnya or whatever the fuck it was over there. But anyway, it's happening in India. And the crazy thing, guys, is that watching and listening to Muslims talk that shit here is fucking insane. You don't want to be in your country because your country's bad. Your country has a lot of, not persecution. There's another fucking term, and someone's it's gonna come up. But I said. So yeah. Anyway, with that, guys, ethnic cleansing. Thank you. That's what it was. And right now, it's going on in India. And if you research it right now, just type in India ethnic cleansing. They're having a major issue right now that no one's talking about. And it's the Muslims kicking, no, not the Muslims. Sorry, not the Muslims. The Hindus kicking it off. The Hindus, who I thought were peaceful, that's what it was. The Hindus, who I thought were peaceful, they're kicking out Christians and Muslims. Excuse me. I didn't mean to say that about it was Muslims. It was actually Hindus. And I thought Hindus were peaceful people. Apparently not. So, guys, the Pentagon... Wait. All right. So the Pentagon is fully prepared to deploy its forces and assess it in close proximity to Israel. Now, I guess they're telling the troops that they could be going in for combat. I don't know. But if any of you guys are military, no military, have a family member in military, I would like to confirm whether or not they're being told that they could be combat effective soon. If we set troops in Israel to help, I fucking promise you, Iran and Syria are sending their troops in. Hezbollah is going to unleash their troops, and ISIS is without a doubt going to make their way over. Without a doubt. And this will be the worst war this world has ever seen, because it'll be bad. As far as nuclear capabilities or nuclear weapons being used, not yet. This is not like the movies, guys, where World War III pops off and all of a sudden nukes start going off. It's going to take a while to get there. But nonetheless, it will. Palmetto said unlikely. I don't listen. There's no such thing as unlikely. Everything is on the table. Everybody keeps telling me that's not going to happen. This is not going to happen. And now we got fucking Syria and Saudi Arabia and Iran looking to get involved. And people are like, oh, Saudi Arabia is going to sit this one out. They are not sitting this out. But there's no such things, guys, as it's not going to happen. It is all on the table. And anybody who's like denying anything's going to happen, you're either scared or you're not paying close enough attention. But the writing's on the wall for a lot of this shit. A lot of it. Anyway, denouncing the Zionist regime for killing children and innocent people in Gaza, Iranian President Ebrahim Raisi said the U.S. and other countries that support Israel atrocities are accomplices. Now we're accomplices in the war crimes and should be held accountable. Now the United States are war criminals. And yes, the United States have been war criminals for many years for different wars. I don't know how we got stuck with this one, but now we're an accomplice. So I don't know what the fuck's going on. Guys, if there's a problem with the video, it's not on my end. It might be on your end because I don't have. I'm watching myself on my iPad, and I'm not seeing any issues. But I heard 2 complaints already, or I saw 2 complaints. And if that's the case, I'm sorry. You could probably come out and go back in again. So, guys, Ryan, thank you for the donation, and somebody else, Jankman, thank you for the donation, guys. I appreciate it. So, German-Palestinian headscarves, guys. Here we go with the dangerous shit. This is only the beginning. These people, the world elites, are always going to use a situation to control people at some capacity. So we are 5x5, no issues, no problems. All right, thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Clear HD here. Excuse me, Bobby. He's watching me in HD. All right, thank you, guys. Appreciate it. So, in Germany, Palestinian headscarves have been banned in Berlin schools. Now, schools, that's okay. But they were also banning protesting in Germany as well. Any pro-Palestinian protests were getting broken up. The headband thing I get in school to a point. They used to do that here in New York. If you were wearing a headband, they told you to take it off because it was gang affiliated at some capacity. This is not gang affiliated, and I don't know what a headscarf has anything to do other than... And the crazy thing about the headscarf, guys, is a lot of these kids weren't wearing them. They were not wearing the headscarves until this shit popped off. Now you see every fucking Tom, Dick, and Harry wearing a fucking headscarf to let everybody know that they're Middle Eastern. Who gives a fuck? If you were fucking ballsy enough and man enough, you fucking pack your shit up, go home, and help fight. Don't give me that I'm from the fucking Middle East bullshit. Who cares? You're cowering here like fucking the rest of you people. Whatever. That annoys me, man. When fucking kids like that are trying to play tough, I'm like, but you're not going back home to drop the hammer. You're screaming from fucking here. Oh, they're killing all the women and kids. Grow the fuck up. Seriously. Sorry. So, let's see. Where the fuck were we? Okay, if the bombing... So this came from a politician in Qatar. If the bombing of Gaza doesn't stop, we will stop gas supply of the world. To the world. So there was a prince or a CEO in charge of gas stating that they would stop shipping gas around the world if the bombing of Gaza doesn't stop. Apparently, no one gives a shit because no one's listening to this, guys. So anyway, a big blow to German who signed a major contract with Qatar. That was, if I'm not mistaken, that had to do with gas. So that fucked them up. CNN reporter apologized. I already talked about the whole beheading of the kids. The CNN reporter had to apologize and retract her statement. Lebanon's Hezbollah, we will not leave the assassination of the journalists unanswered. There was a journalist that was killed doing his job. The Israelis, the IDF, bombed him by accident. Somehow, it turned into an assassination of a journalist. And when you go on the pro-Palestinian sites or pro-Hamas sites, they have this picture of this journalist all over the place, like he's an angel. They're playing like fucking Celine Dion song in the background as they have a fucking montage of the same picture of the guy holding his camera, pointing it at the disaster, smiling, headscarf on. I'm like, he was a fucking journalist, man. He wasn't an angel. He wasn't saving the world. He was taking fucking pictures. Whatever. So now, him dying is an assassination, and Hezbollah vows to answer it. I'm like, why? Why? Why are these people being children about this? Darth, thank you for the donation. I appreciate it, man. But I never heard. I read that twice. I'm like, we will not leave his assassination unanswered. What are we doing? Anyway, the Lebanese army responds with artillery shelling on Israel army positions. The German airline Lusania, I can't pronounce that. I can never. They're no longer having flights go to Beirut at all. So they cut all flights going to, I think, Palestine. Oh, sorry, Lebanon, altogether. I can never. Is it Lufthansa? Lufthansa. I can never pronounce that airline. I'm like the one with the L. You know that one. So they stopped all flights going there. Sounds of explosions earlier today were heard in the city of Abu Kamal, east of somebody's asshole, resulting in an aerial bombardment inside Iraq. There was no confirmation on who was doing the bombing inside Iraq, but it was happening, and I tried to look for more on it, and I couldn't find anything other than everybody else saying the same shit, that there were loud explosive sounds coming from inside Iraq's border or behind Iraq's border. Unidentified aircraft struck an Iranian military convoy near Al-Bukmal, crossing the border into Syria, if I'm not mistaken, between Iraq and Syria. So again, this is another follow-up story where it was an unidentified aircraft hitting an Iranian convoy. Again, guys, by tomorrow, Lufthansa. Is that how you say it? Lufthansa? Lufthansa. All right. That's an airline I'm never going to fly because I can't fucking pronounce it. But thank you guys for helping me out. Like, you moron, it's Lufthansa. So, again, guys, not good. An unidentified aircraft struck an Iranian military convoy. Unidentified. There's only two people it could have been. United States or Israel. That's going to piss off Iran and Iraq. If they drag Iraq into this, guys, they'll be fighting Iraq, Syria, Lebanon, Iran, possibly Egypt, because they're pissing them off. Russia might step in as support. China will step in as support. And a couple other countries, I don't know from where, and African nations will probably monetarily support them or even send troops. I know South Africa is supporting Palestine. That's not good. A lot of countries are supporting Palestine, which is leaving a lot of our friendships bare, empty, if you will, because people are switching sides. All right, the U.S. military will intercept Hezbollah missile attacks and pro-Iran militia in Syria, and Iraq. Saw a message. And Iraq, if the war escalates, in a regional conflict. So, again, Syria and Iraq keep saying if it escalates. This is going to escalate. So the countries that are saying, guys, that if it escalates, we're stepping in, they're going to step in. It's just a matter of a couple of days to a couple of weeks. I don't even give it a month before we're a full-blown World War III. Now, World War III has not been called out yet. I know a lot of us are saying that we're going to see it. We definitely will in the next couple of weeks. If shit starts calming down, if Israel calms down, because right now they're thinking emotionally. They're going fucking all out. They got attacked. They responded. That's where they should stop. But they're still pushing the envelope. And they should only stop when they get back all of their hostages. Then they should be easy. But we shall see where that goes. Now, Paris had two bomb scares, or two terror threats, if you will. They had a museum or two museums yesterday had to evacuate because someone threatened of a terror suspect in the area, and they had to close it down. So the Palace of Versailles near Paris had to evacuate due to a suspected terrorist threat. The third bomb threat in one day. So they had three, not two, three yesterday. I don't know what they had today. Egyptian authorities are not allowing U.S. national citizens of and citizens of other countries to enter Egypt through the Rafah border crossing on Saturday, insisting that the crossing must also facilitate humanitarian aid for Gaza. This is the road that was supposedly bombed yesterday. This road is the only road leading into Gaza, and Egypt wants to keep it open for humanitarian relief. Israel threatened to bomb any humanitarian relief going to Gaza. At some point, guys, you have to. At some point, now someone's like pronouncing Paris for me, Paris. And then I said Versailles. I said Versailles. But then someone said, is Versailles? Is it Versailles? Is that how you pronounce it? You know what? This isn't an English lesson. But thank you, guys. When everybody's like, you said it wrong. It's Versailles. Versailles. Anyway, hold on. Let me keep going before I get stuck in this fucking English lesson over here. Now everybody's an English scholar. They're like, that's not how you pronounce it, stupid. But anyway, guys, we got a couple minutes before I go off the air. I am not doing the Angry Truth tonight. I'm not doing a doubleheader tonight. The doubleheaders are Tuesday and Thursdays. Nights like tonight are just, there's so much going on. I'm trying to keep up, but it's fucking hard, man. You could miss a lot. You could stare at all of that shit on Telegram, the news, and you'll still miss fucking like 80% of the information going out there. I'm trying to skip over rumors unless the rumor sounds credible or the rumor was something else that I was thinking about in my head. But it's fucking people with the English lessons. But yeah, I'm avoiding that for now. U.S. Air Force is ready to operate in the area and assist in intelligence gathering. U.S. guys have been gathering intelligence. They had two of their planes circling over Gaza, I think Syria, and they're looking for movement, military movement. They didn't say that, but I'm speculating that because it just makes sense. What they're looking for. They're looking to see if anybody's converging on their spot. Now, Prepper Now reported this. I had to look it up for myself, and he is right. So there is now a 50% chance of a world war as the Israel-Hamas conflict threatens to spread. Now, I appreciate a lot of news agencies are saying Israel-Hamas conflict and not Israel-Palestine, right? That makes a lot more sense. That is Israel-Hamas. And Israel has to understand that it's Hamas and not Palestine. All right, guys, do me a favor. Hit the thumbs up or the thumbs down. We're almost at 1,000. I like that even number. But, so, Roy Dalio said that the Israel-Hamas conflict will likely trigger more clashes in other places. The elite investors said that the risk of world war includes the U.S. and China had risen to 50%. Now, it is definitely higher than 50%. I would say we're at the 75, 80% threshold of going to war. Carol, thank you for the donation. Not 50%. Unless he's like, it's a 50-50 chance. It's way higher than that, man. I'm going to say 75, 80% chance of going to war, full world war. The economic historian said that these kinds of battles tend to be brutal and often spread. And one thing that they left out, long as fuck. If we don't go nuclear, if we don't ever see nuclear, guys, this war can last anywhere between 5, 10, 20 years. Nobody has 20 years of people to throw into this. So it's going to it's going to last a lot shorter than that. I really don't see that unfolding in that manner. But yeah, guys, we have a lot of countries looking to get into this. We're going to have a lot of countries that are going to be forced to pick a side. Politicians right now are flying everywhere. The Middle East, forget it. They're prime ministers and their ministry guys and their low level fucking politicians flying everywhere to get talks in order because they're banding together as we speak. Syria, Lebanon, Saudi Arabia are banding together. Iran, Iraq banding together. Hamas is talking with ISIS. ISIS is talking with the Taliban. They're all banding together. That's what they're talking about right now. I could all but guarantee it. I could put my measly fucking paycheck on it that they are undoubtedly banding together right now. The U.S. is doing the same thing. Israel is probably doing the same thing. They're trying to see how much support they have out there and see how much commitment they can make to this. Now, again, Adriana, yeah, the draft is not going to work for us. I'm sorry. The draft is not going to work. The country's going to institute the draft. They're going to even raise the age limit. I'll tell you that right now. They're undoubtedly going to raise the age limit of draft. Because we don't have abled men. We have a lot of fucking pussy. We have a lot of pussies in this country, right? And if I'm not mistaken, the age range for drafting is 25 years old. I think that's the max from what I'm reading here. Let's see. And the minimum age, so it's 26. So it's 25, 26 years old. They're going to raise the age range, guys. They're probably going to raise it. So I would say if the United States is looking at all of the pussification they have standing behind them, they're going to look and be like, holy shit, we got fucking hipsters, gay men, and trans. What are we going to do? I know. We'll raise the age. It's 25. They're going to raise it to, I think, 35, Wolford Dude. I think they're going to go, they might even go as high as 40. They might go as high as 40 years old. Either way, I'm out of the mix. Unless they do some crazy shit. According to this, it says 26 years old. If I'm reading that right. Oh, no. Sorry. You are right. No. Draft. That's weird. Requirements to join the military is 1735, Coast Guard 1731, Marine Corps 1728, Navy 1739, Space Force 1739. But for drafting purpose, the max age is 25 years old. So after each pool of people, the lottery-based system moves up year by year until it reaches to those who are 25 years. After 25 years old, it gets cut off. So when they institute the draft, they have the lottery-based system. They call your name, which is everybody, and it's up to 25. So after when you turn 26, you're out of the mix. And that's for drafting. But to join the service, the Army is 17 to 35. The Coast Guard is 17 to 31. The Marine Corps is 17 to 28. The Navy is 17 to 39. And the Space Force, which I thought was a fucking joke up until a couple months ago, is 17 to 39. Now, the draft can absolutely go to 40 or 45. Because people are living longer. People are in seemingly better shape because they can take care of themselves. But in the United States, we have nothing but fat fucks. We have an obesity problem that's bordering an epidemic. I read that a couple months ago. We are teetering on an epidemic, so who are we going to have to fight? These feminist chicks that are like, men don't control my lives. You can't tell me what to do. Fuck you. We don't need men. The patriarchy, yada, yada, yada. I could guarantee you, you tell those chicks, you got to fight. They're going to be like, whoa, whoa, whoa. but I'm a woman. I can't. My vagina. And then they're going to fucking, figure out a way how to get out of that. So, listen, if they were to draft, this is not the war I want to fucking fight in. You know? And I wouldn't want my kids fighting in this one. Not this one. There are certain wars that might be worth it. This might not be the one worth it. It might not be. And it's going to be a total bloodbath. I don't know. I mean, there's one part of me that I would, if they drafted me, I would go, but I wouldn't want my kids to fight it. But if my kids had to go, I would break their fucking legs so that they wouldn't go. Because I just don't think this is the one to fight. But who knows? Who the fuck knows? You know? But yeah, you gotta send the hipsters. You gotta send all of those Palestinian kids who were screaming. Send them. Matter of fact, let's put them all on a plane now and ship them back over to Palestine ahead of time. But I don't know, man. I don't know what the answer is. I don't think I would want my kids fighting this war. I guess this is a fucking busy chat tonight. Holy shit. Yeah, guys, so there's a lot going on. And again, the lawmaker the other day that said that we got to use the doomsday weapon, what you call it, didn't hear a peep out of her after that. So, the United Arab Emirates guys, they did tell Syria not to get involved. I find that to be interesting. Meanwhile, they were calling for all Arab countries to get involved. The United Arab Emirates, AEU, is stating, please do not get involved. It would be fucking, it'd just be bad news, guys. But they don't want Syria to get involved, but Syria and Iran are itching to get involved. Again, guys, this is going to be a long, drawn out thing. Right? That's all we're going to fucking see. Also, last but not least, Putin blames failure of U.S. policy for Middle East conflict that had nothing to do with Middle East, unless, guys, we would have wiped Hamas out. Now, I said this before, I will say it again. How did and why did Israel let Hamas stage right next to them? Hamas has always made it perfectly clear that they wanted to get rid of Jews and they wanted to get Israel back. They made it perfectly clear time and time again. Why would you allow a group of people to be parked right next to you without lighting them up, without sending your boots on ground in Gaza and getting them out of there? Because when Palestine was fighting with them, Israel should have got involved. But they didn't. So I don't know. I do not know what the answer to that is. But nonetheless, Russia is stating that he's talking to both sides. All of a sudden, guys, Putin is trying to become this peacekeeper, right? I don't understand why. But nonetheless, he is. Sorry. All right, I'm just trying to figure out what was going on. Anyway, guys, thank you for joining me tonight. We're going to go off the air. Thank you for the support. Thank you for the donations. Thank you for dealing with my bullshit. As per usual, I will have my regular Tuesday night. I think I should be cleared for Tuesday night, ready to go. And then Thursday, I am back to work. I was sidelined for a little bit. So for those of you that were putting two and two together, I went back to work for a week and a half. My paperwork wasn't officially in, so they sidelined me for 2 weeks. So I sat home on administrative leave, getting paid, but on administrative leave for 2 fucking weeks. Now I'm back to work again. That being said, I'm going to try to stick to my Tuesday, Thursday schedule as best as I can. Other than that, you'll see me throughout the week. If some crazy shit happens tomorrow, I might have a short live stream on tomorrow night. We shall see. But other than that, guys, thank you for joining me. Thank you for my dealing with me. And I will see a lot of you guys Tuesday night for the doubleheader. Thank you.